All right, well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We are here today with another video, so yay! It's so exciting. I'm Jess with Darklight Portrait Studios. Tony is, as always, here. However, he is being tech guide today, so he may pop in and out as he is known to do. But otherwise, he's running things behind the scenes, so if things get screwed up, it's completely his fault. Yay! Not my fault. So we're here today with Lancaster, who is going to remember to speak loudly because we need everybody to hear us.
Oh yeah, true.
And I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we're going to get into it. So, welcome to our humble abode.
It's nice house. I never actually been over here in this area either.
No?
Nah.
Well,
Nah.
welcome to Town and Country.
It's nice.
Yeah. So, introduce yourself, tell them who you are, kind of what you're doing in life, a little brief synopsis. And
Okay. Well, my name's Lancaster. I'm from Orlando, Florida originally. Right now I'm in school at USF. I actually graduate this year. I'm a senior.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Outside of school, I model, style, and design. And that's kind of where I'm trying to take my career path in the future, too.
Awesome. So what's your plans for graduation? What's your diploma going to be in?
Social science, actually, with a focus in public health and criminology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you graduate, what's your grand plan?
Well, my plan is to hopefully get like a career job in my major, but I want to use the money from my job to fund my passions, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Pretty much everybody. Yeah.
Right.
Right where everyone is.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations on almost graduating.
Thank you.
Yay.
Excited to graduate soon.
Yeah, I bet. I know that this year, well, starting last semester, and now starting again, like things have just been so different.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
so hectic, and coronavirus kind of killed everything.
Yeah,
but
it messed up my whole mood, to be honest. Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like as soon as they shut down like my job and then the school, I had to go back home for like a whole month. So I didn't actually know like when I was gonna be able to come back to Tampa.
Yeah.
But I ended up like finding a place after like a month out here, and I subleased, and my job started back up, so I got to work over the summer.
That's good.
Mhm.
You're lucky because there's a lot of people that just haven't been able to do that.
Yeah.
So, being on unemployment, especially here in Florida, where the unemployment is so low. I mean, I don't know how anybody can live on it.
Well, I heard they've been doing pretty good actually, like with the extra money they've been giving
because
everyone.
Because of the extra money, yeah.
Yeah.
But now that the extra money has run out, yeah, I was thinking about unemployment with all the extra money. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, I think they make more now than I was making.
They were making way more than I was at my job, like
Yeah.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, but now things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Yeah, so I was just like, dang, I need to just quit and go to that. But now that things have gotten kind of back to normal, so you're back, school has started again.
Yep, school started again.
And we were talking earlier, USF is doing both in-person classes and virtual classes.
Mhm.
So, how do you feel about the virtual classes? Do you feel like you're getting as much from it as you would if you were actually there?
Well, the thing is, I've been doing online classes for a long time now, probably about 2.5 years. I feel like I can learn better and, like, I guess, manage my time a little bit more because I like to do a lot of stuff outside of school. So being able to do online, it gives me time to do those things and do school at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you miss the being in person and just being around other people, though?
I'm actually fine with not being around other students. I mean, because I'm always around other people anyway when I go to events and stuff. And then I'm not really that big on lectures. Like, teachers kind of bore me a lot, so it's kind of hard for me to pay attention in class.
If there's any teachers out there, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just...
Nothing personal.
I feel better when I can actually look at the material myself and learn it. Like, rather than someone kind of lecturing it to me.
Right.
Like, just reading out of a book. I can do that myself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's good that it's working out.
Yeah.
Like, yay. So Lancaster has delved into the world of modeling. And we have talked to models in the past, but they've all been female. So we wanted to get him in here to talk to him because obviously he's not a female. So he's bringing a different perspective, and I think he has some different concerns as a male model than some of the female models that we've had. one of the things that we've talked about with our female models is, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Hold that thought.
Oh, okay.
So how did you decide, like, you went from, I'm a student here at USF and now I want to be a model? What made that jump?
I guess I could start from the beginning then, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so about 5 years ago, I used to go to a school called Bethune-Cookman, and I had met a friend who was from New York, and he was a photographer. And he had told me, like, one day, I think I told y'all this before, that I couldn't dress. And
I don't know if I'd be offended or what.
yeah, one thing about me is I don't like people telling me what I can and cannot do, because I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. So like, I started looking into some of the, like, pictures he was taking and the people he's taking pictures of, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, I could dress a little better. So I would start, like, changing up my style every now and then, and I would, like, talk to him and be like, hey, does this look okay, or is this all right? And he'll be like, oh, you should make a tweak with this, like, change your pants like this, wear your shirt this way, do this, do that, like, switch up little things and tweak it. So I would, like, go back and forth with him after a while, and I guess after time went on, like, people started noticing my style was getting better. So people were, like, giving me compliments, and then people actually started asking me if I could style them. So I started doing that for a little bit, and then after a little while more, people were telling me, hey, you know, you should really, like, think about doing something with, like, the way you dress. And I was like, well, I don't really know what to do, because I never really thought about doing anything else. And they were like, oh, well, maybe you should model. And I was like, oh, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Like, I never really thought about that before. Because before college, I was really into, like, basketball. That was the only thing I was into. But as soon as I left high school, I didn't get any, like, college offers for basketball, so I was actually looking for something else to actually get into. So I started, like, looking into modeling, and I think that's when I got to Tampa, when I transferred to USF. I started looking at things on Eventbrite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was different modeling events and stuff like that where you can connect with people. And I went to one event, and the first event I went to, I literally, like, talked to a clothing brand and they let me model for them. So that's where it all started. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Eventbrite, good place to find things to do.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good for, like, someone starting and you don't know where to go to look. Like, Eventbrite is definitely a good place to start, I think.
What's one, for anybody out there that's dressing not as stylishly as they could be, what's a tip that you would give them from your style perspective?
Yeah.
As a guy, what's one tip that you would give them? Like, what do you think the most important thing is?
Oh, in style, try to stay true to yourself. You can always look at different styles, but only nitpick certain things from different styles that you look at. You don't want to base your style off of one person. You want to look at different things and get inspiration from everything around you. Literally, I can walk down the street and get inspiration from someone who's walking by me and just be like, oh wait, I like the way he did his shoes like that, or I like the way he put his pants a certain way. You can always get different inspiration from people just around you, honestly. Like, that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I think my pants are always the same way. I don't know. I didn't know there was multiple ways to put your pants.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do with your style.
Who knew? When you say you changed your style, like, from how you used to dress to now, what would you call your style now?
I guess it would be streetwear, mostly, yeah.
Okay. What was it before?
Before,
Like, loungewear?
nah, it was, well, I mean, I used to just wear, like, Hollister and stuff all the time. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And then, I think, like, before that, my mom used to basically dress me, so she would put me in, like, all the same color outfits, like, red shirt, red pants, red socks, red shoes, red hat. Yeah, I was literally wearing, like, all the same colors. Like, and I'm actually glad I got out of that, because, like, eventually I got to actually start buying my own clothes. So, yeah, it wasn't the move. It wasn't. It definitely was not the move.
Well, and you have to remember back, like, I mean, you're not old by any means, but 15, 20 years ago, people dressed way different than they dress now.
Yeah, true.
And so the way mom dressed you, 18 years ago or whatever it is not necessarily the way that moms now would dress their kids at that age.
Yeah.
But no, we all went through it. We all went through the mom was buying us clothes. I was born in a long time ago, and the trend seemed to be like browns and oranges and yellows and stripes. And so I have pictures of me as a little kid, and I'm like, what in the holy crap am I wearing? And I'm definitely not, I'm literally wearing jeans and a t-shirt right now, but even then you look back and you go, oh my god, why?
Yeah, I low-key deleted like all my pictures on Facebook because I didn't want to look at like the ones from the past. I was like, yeah, I can't have these following me. I'm sorry. Like, these are gone. These are out of here.
Well, as long as you have them somewhere, because you'll appreciate them when you're older. So are you doing any work right now as a stylist for people?
Well, I was doing some things before the pandemic, but people kind of don't want to collaborate as much now because they're trying to stay safe, I guess, and social distance. But there's some model castings coming up for some clothing brands and runways like next month that I signed up for. So I've been like in the gym, like working out, getting myself together, eating a little bit healthier now. Just trying to get ready for that, basically.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they all go really well.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too, to be honest.
Yeah. So we actually met Lancaster back in February. We did an open call for creatives just in general. We were looking for people for modeling, hairstylists, makeup artists, videographers, all kinds of different creative things because we kind of wanted to build a creative team. And Lancaster actually came, which was awesome. So we met him there, and unfortunately the pandemic then hit in March, and so we really haven't gotten to do anything all year.
Yeah.
So all the people that we connected with then, we actually are still in contact with all these people, but we haven't gotten to do any projects, we haven't really done anything.
Yeah.
These pictures that you see on the TV is actually the one time that we actually got to shoot together literally right before the pandemic. These were taken on like March 14th or 15th or something, and Tampa basically shut down on March 17th.
Yeah.
So obviously we were down in Ybor City here in Tampa, and it was night, and we were out. It was probably like an hour and a half. We went out and did some images, and it was just for fun. Like we had no agenda, no real plan. It was just like, hey, let's go take some pictures, see what we get. So these are obviously two of them. There was more, but we can't fit them all on there. You wouldn't be able to see them. But we did just go out, and it's fun, not only for us just to go out and play around, basically, but also it just gives the people that we're photographing, it gives them a chance just to kind of go out and practice and do their thing too.
Yeah.
One thing that Lancaster and I had a conversation about after this was that regardless of how you felt about the shoot, whether you had a great time, whether you were like, oh my god, that was the worst thing ever, you can always learn something from it.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we really try to let people know is even if things didn't go quite the way you planned it, or even if, everything wasn't 100% the way you liked, or if you loved everything, whatever it is, take what you learned, or what you were told, or what you practiced then, and make it something that can work for you. And that's something you said you get inspiration for styling from like all these different areas.
Yeah.
And you can also do that from working with different photographers because everybody has a different thing.
Yeah.
So you've worked here in Tampa and maybe other places, I don't know, but with different photographers.
Yeah, multiple.
Yeah. What is something that you had no idea about when you started or a few things I guess, that now you're like, oh yeah, I know to do that now?
Oh, I think the biggest thing I had problems with was posing. Because I had no idea how to pose. I was just like doing natural stuff all the time, and I was mostly just asking like the photographer what I should do. But now I have like a little idea of certain poses I can do like during a shoot, but that was the biggest thing for me. And then also I think it was like how I wanted them to, I guess, get me in the picture, like certain ways like angles, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I think that was probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
Okay. So do you practice it at home? Don't lie. You can admit it.
Yeah, I did practice a few things. I was actually gonna hit you guys up sometimes too, like to see if I can practice some poses and.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
I wanted to practice like walking too, like runaway walking. Like,
Okay.
in a way, I guess. But yeah, I definitely still need to practice and work on some things. But I'm learning.
Yeah, it's a process. I mean, it's one of those things that you probably will never. No matter, you could be a model for 100 years and you could still learn things in 100 years that you didn't know now. You know what I mean? So, it's things change. Things change. So in terms of the modeling, because you're working with clothing designers and stuff, but also in terms of the style thing, what's a trend now that you feel like people should kind of be aware of if they want to look like they're paying attention to what's going on?
As far as what, like?
As far as, well, for men.
Okay.
And just as far as like, just clothes in general, like maybe stuff that people are gonna wear to just go out for the evening or whatever.
Oh.
Nothing, not like a tuxedo or anything, but like just.
Well, for me, I guess it depends on the weather, because it's always hot in Florida. So you gotta work around like the weather a lot when you're picking what outfits to wear. That's one reason I kind of want to move a little bit up north, because I can change like, you know, to different styles more, I guess, because of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's hot all year round here, it's kind of hard to wear like layers or jackets and stuff. But I try to work around it. Like at night, sometimes I'll throw on some different layers and jackets and flannels and everything. But during the day, like mostly I just stay in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida chic.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yep. I can honestly tell you that I have never, until I moved to Florida, never been somewhere like a club or something like that where people are wearing flip-flops
Mm-hmm.
or they're wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I like never, ever. And I've lived in states that are hot before, but here in Florida, it's a whole different level of heat and humidity and all that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's like, even if you want to go somewhere and you want to dress nice, it's like, it's too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot you don't want to sweat through your nice shirt. Or it's just ridiculous. Ugh.
Yeah, from a style standpoint, it does kind of suck because you want to try different things, but it's so hard with the heat. Like, you don't want to be out here literally dying of heat stroke.
Pass out.
Yeah, in like a giant puffer jacket or something. Like, yeah, it just, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it most of the time.
We have that same problem, even just wanting to do pictures. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we have a couple of shoots that we have lined up for later, and it's like, we'll do it when it cools off, because I can't ask you to stand outside and wear a jacket.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now in the winter, here in Florida, we do get like 3 or 4 days where it's not too bad.
Yeah, maybe like 70 to 60 somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So if you really work it nicely, you can actually wear all of your winter clothes. You just have to wear like 3 or 4 different outfits in a day. So I'm a boot person. I love boots. I'm from the north. I have like 15 pairs of boots, and you have to get them all in a really short amount of time.
Yeah.
Because they just otherwise it's hot, and everyone's wearing flip-flops and you're wearing boots, and that's just like, what am I doing?
I don't even buy as many jackets anymore because of the heat. Like, I keep them like in my closet just in case, like, for a rainy day sometimes maybe you can wear it if it cools down a little bit, but mostly like I just keep them until when it cools out in the winter for those 3 days or a week or whatever, whenever.
Yeah. Speaking of the modeling thing, you said that you went to an event and you were able to talk to the clothing designer or brand or label or whatever it is, and you were able to be in that show. When you went there and you talked to them, was it just like, hey, I'm Lancaster, can I be in your show? Like, what was your approach to talking to people?
With me, I just try to be genuine. I just talk to people how I would normally talk to anybody. Mostly you just have a regular conversation, and then sometimes it'll just lead into, I have a clothing brand. Oh, well, I'm a model. Da-da-da-da-da. Would you like to, shoot with me sometime or something like that? But I don't really like just walk up to people and be like, hey, I know you have a clothing brand. You think I can maybe model for you? I know you have no idea who I am or anything, but yeah, I'm like a big model or whatever. Can I please model for your brand? Nah, I just have a genuine conversation, and usually it just leads to us wanting to collaborate. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's awesome, because I think there's a lot of people out there that they want to get into the industry, but they really have no idea how.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you guys the same thing I told you when we had Miss Sabi sitting here on this couch was one of the things that you need, excuse me, if you want to get into modeling is you need professional pictures. And shots on your iPhone or your whatever that you take, like selfies on your selfie stick, they're not gonna cut it. They might work in the very beginning when you're just starting out, but you have to get pictures taken.
Yeah.
And you have to get pictures taken by someone who actually owns a camera and knows how to use it and knows lighting and angles and all of these things. Because you can have the awesomest pose in the world. Like, you can pose up like you have never posed in your life. But if the light sucks, or the location is terrible, or whatever, it's not gonna look right.
No,
it's gonna look like you're posing like a crazy person, like in front of a bus stop or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to have somebody that kind of knows what they're doing. And you can certainly call us, we don't mind, but it doesn't have to be us, it can be anybody. There's lots of good photographers out there. But don't be afraid to try out some different stuff with different people, because the experience that you have with us is not the same experience you're going to have with, Joe Blow down the street. So you just never know. All the things that, we might do could be totally different from what somebody else does and still get a cool result, but it'll have a different look. So like these pictures right here of Lancaster, he could go to that exact same location at that exact same time of day with a totally different photographer, and his pictures could look completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
Even in the same outfit. Like, it's crazy how people can get different looks with different stuff and just different things that you do. So even if, like, for say this, he could say, oh, well, I've already shot in Ybor, I don't need to ever go to Ybor again. And it's like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know this because you've shot with multiple people. Do you feel like the pictures that you've gotten from everybody have been really, really different?
Yeah. Because every photographer shoots differently, and they all do different edits too.
Mm-hmm.
So all the shoots are totally different from each other. Like, you can literally look at my Instagram and check and see, like, they all look totally different. Yeah.
And we will at the end. We'll get your. We'll have you tell everybody your Instagram page and that kind of stuff. So we'll do that before we end. But yeah. And I think it's really important to have that, because you don't want to go to even if you were going to go to a modeling agency,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to bring them a portfolio where you have 15 pictures and all 15 of them are the same.
True.
You know what I mean? You want to show different looks, different angles, different poses. You want to show some full length, 3/4 headshots, whatever it is. But you don't want to just be like, here it is. Because then you end up being that one-note wonder,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody wants to be that. You don't want to be typecast,
No,
because then you never get anything else. So, like we had started to mention earlier, but we've met with a couple of girls who model, ladies, I'm sorry, not girls, ladies who model, and one of the big concerns for a female in the modeling industry, especially when working with photographers and designers and that kind of stuff, is safety.
Mm-hmm.
Safety is a big issue because there's a lot of creepy people out there.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
There's a lot of creepy people, and we've had, we always have somebody tell a horror story, because
Mhm.
everybody likes to hear the horror stories. So we've had horror stories about people who've been put in a situation where they could be trafficked.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. People who have been stalked, all kinds of stuff.
Jeez.
So as a guy,
Uh-huh.
have you run into any situations where you felt like your safety wasn't, like when things weren't really safe?
I'm trying to think. Probably mostly just like location.
Okay.
Because some of the locations aren't necessarily places that I'm supposed to be. Like, sometimes I'll invade in a place just to get a certain picture. But other than that, I haven't had any like run-ins with someone trying to traffic me or kidnap me or anything like that so far. Because like most of the people I shoot with, like, I know them like personally, so I never really had that. Yeah.
So
that
I mean,
experience.
that's
like,
a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good
I don't
thing.
want to have that experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like Lancaster, he's a big guy. He's not. You're not small by
Nah.
any means. I mean, you're tall. You go to the gym. You're not a little guy. So I feel like some of the more physical type altercations, like chances of someone picking you up and throwing you in the trunk are pretty slim.
That's not happening.
But have you ever talked to somebody where you just got that feeling, like that weird kind of, this person, something's off a little bit?
Not as far as photographers. People, yes. I've definitely met some very weird people who I got like crazy vibes from, and I definitely stayed away from them. But
Yeah.
as far as photographer goes, no, I haven't had any crazy photographers.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. We're out there. Not us. We're not crazy. That's a good thing because as we tell all girls, like trust your gut. If something feels off, believe that it's off.
Yeah.
And get yourself out of that situation regardless. Have you been in any situations where people have asked you to do things that you weren't planning on doing? Like, for instance, with women, you end up like, oh, let's do a photo shoot of you, and you go there, and the next thing you know, they're trying to get you to get naked.
Nah.
And it's
nah, I haven't had any of that. No.
All right, well, cool. That's a good thing. That is a problem on the female side.
I've heard people tell me about that. Like, literally, guys will be like, yeah, I'm gonna just be a photographer so I can shoot like naked girls or girls with like lesser clothes. Like, there's a lot of guys like that. Definitely.
Which is why we tell people, find your photographer and check up on them. If they tell you to get naked, unless you're wanting to get naked, get out.
Yeah.
All right. So no one's trying to strip you down.
No.
Question.
Yes.
Would Lancaster be open to escorting fellow female models to shoots?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. What? Are you guys having more uncomfortable situations with like girls?
No. If somebody hits you on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I definitely would. Yeah. I wouldn't mind escorting.
And do you have any tips for safety for other models, male models?
I don't really know what else to say. I've never really been in that situation. Just try to make sure you check up on the person that you're meeting up with. Like, do some research. Yeah, don't just meet up with random people out of nowhere. Like, make sure you look into it just a little bit at least, you know?
Yep. And like we tell everyone, in terms of even the females, number one, trust your gut. If something seems off, then something could very well be off. Number two, even as a guy, you should always either have somebody with you, like this person was asking about an escort, bring somebody with you, whether it be, your best friend, your dog, somebody, bring something with you.
Honestly, like for girls, I think you should definitely bring somebody with you, especially for meeting someone for the first time at a random location that you've never been to. Yeah, I would definitely, especially if it's not a public place too. Yeah, that's sketchy.
Yeah, super sketchy.
Yeah, that's
especially
really
since there's a lot of guys out there who want to take pictures of naked women.
Yes, definitely.
But I guarantee you that there are people out there that would try to take advantage of men just as much as they would of women. It may not be stripping you down to no clothes, but there are people out there who do, photographers out there who do like fine art nude photography and who do things of that nature, and there's a very big difference between fine art nudes and porn nudes. Fine art nudes and porn is two entirely different things, but a lot of times people will try to sell the more porn look as, oh, we're doing fine art photography. And really, in the reality, no, dude, that's just porn. Like, it just looks like... So, and I have no doubt that there are people out there that approach that with men.
Yeah.
So even though it hasn't happened to you, and hopefully it won't.
I hope not.
But there's always that possibility that someone could be like, oh, I want to, we want to shoot nude or semi-nude or whatever, and the next thing you know, they're trying to take pictures of nothing but your bathing suit area or whatever. So you really have to just keep your eye out. There's some creepy people in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, with the internet, creepy people can now connect to each other. So you really have to be cognizant that this is your life and nothing is, your safety, nothing's worth that.
I don't know if you saw the other day, but there was literally a story about how like 40 kids were saved in Atlanta who were being sex trafficked. It was just the other day, so you gotta be careful out here, like with all this stuff going on. It's just crazy. Yep,
and Florida is actually really, really high up on the list, like number 1 or number 2 for sex trafficking in the country. And it doesn't just happen to women. It can happen to men. It can happen to kids. It can happen to anybody. When you look at magazines or things like that, like GQ, or I don't even know what the men's magazines are, honestly. I have no idea. Maxim, is that still a thing? I don't know. But anyway, if you're looking at magazines that are more based towards men, what are you noticing about posing and that kind of stuff when you look at them?
it's usually a pose that you probably wouldn't see them do usually unless they were doing it for that magazine. Like you see a lot of different types of posing in like GQ magazines, I think. Especially like with the certain clothes they have you wearing, I guess. But that's the biggest thing I've seen mostly. And then obviously like their pictures are a lot more high quality, like for a magazine, I think. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
What style type is your favorite?
Probably streetwear, yeah, most likely. Yeah. I'm not really that big on like dressing up in suits and ties. I've always been kind of like a guy who doesn't like to wear any of that stuff, like dressy stuff. Just casual, more casual type.
Okay. What kind of, if you were gonna fully be a model, if that was your only career and you got this degree from the university and you were like, oh, that's fun, but I'm gonna model.
Yeah.
What's your like modeling goal? What would you like to achieve?
Oh yeah. So I want to model for like a big clothing brand, definitely. And I definitely want to do at least one runway in like Paris or something. That would be fire. Or New York too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fashion Week. Anybody who's looking for male models for Fashion Week, here's your guy. Fashion Week if you're somewhere big like New York or Paris. So you mentioned that you want to practice your runway walk. Do you practice it?
No, not really. I do regular walks or whatever and just kind of try to figure out different things, I guess, when I look on YouTube videos and all that. But other than that, I don't really practice it too much. I was going to start, though, because like next month I'm trying to see if I can get these castings. So.
I know for men, walking is a little different from female.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you don't want to stomp quite so much, I think. We do an event each year where we do two different events that have fashion shows, and there's always men in both of them. And it's funny because in one of them, all the guys walk differently.
Yeah.
They all, like, one guy, he comes out and he struts like he owns the place, and he's out there and he's muscly and all this, and he does his thing. And then there's others that'll come out and they do like a little dance, or they do a little shuffle step or whatever it is. I feel like there's not quite as much variation in the way that guys walk, because the other show that we do, and Tony, I think, would you agree that the guys all kind of walk the same?
Really?
But it's all for one designer in the second show. They all work for the same clothing brand.
Okay.
And so they all kind of have the exact same walk, but I think it's specific to that show.
Oh.
So I don't know if they change it up maybe for other stuff. Because the designer or the clothing person is going to tell you we're going for this kind of look.
True.
And it's going to depend on what you're wearing too. If you're wearing streetwear, you're probably going to walk different than if you're wearing a tuxedo.
Facts. Yeah.
So it's going to depend on what you have on. But I think...
But the base of your walk should be something that is specific to you.
Yeah. Get out there with a limp or whatever.
I think
swag.
With show, I guess the shows probably tell you like the way they want you to walk, right? Mostly.
Normally.
Yeah.
So, but you should have a foundation.
Okay.
Because you don't want to get there and just be like, I'm just here. I can walk. I walked here.
I walked here.
Right.
I should know what to do.
Right. So you should have at the very least just something where you can walk and it looks like a walk, and then you would be able to tweak it depending on what you were wearing or what they wanted or whatever.
Okay.
I know that there's some shows that are much more casual. Not that they're out there just acting the fool, but like the one show that we do, the vibe is more casual, so people can have a little more fun with it.
Okay.
Whereas when you go to one that's less casual and is more business type, like
attire
era, then those are a little more formal than otherwise. But you should definitely have a base go-to walk.
True.
So, and honestly, practice makes perfect, man. So start walking in your apartment.
Start walking in my apartment. Yeah.
Even if you have to video yourself, literally on your phone or whatever, just video yourself walking so you can see what it looks like.
Sure.
Get a full-length mirror.
Yeah, that actually would be a good idea. That way I can actually see myself like walking.
And see if you look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing something you don't know you're doing. See how it looks with your hands in your pockets versus your hands out of your pockets or whatever.
I'm sure that probably happens with a lot of people because nobody really like looks into how they walk like normally, like I guess you could say. But if you actually like record yourself walking, you'd be like, oh wow, I didn't know I do this. Like this is something I do like normally that I can definitely fix. But yeah, I think one of my friends told me like when I walk, like my head bobs a little bit, like from side to side. I never even noticed that before, but he told me that one day. And then I actually like paid attention like to how I was walking. I was like, wow, I actually do move my head like that.
It's from side to side?
Yeah, I guess I like bob it or something like this. I don't know. I guess so. I guess it's just like a normal thing for me. I never really noticed that until he said it though.
So now do you consciously try not to do that?
Sometimes, but it's kind of hard. I guess it's a habit now. Yeah. Probably just grew on me.
Yeah, I can just see you on a show like.
Yeah, I didn't even notice like until he said that. Honestly, didn't notice at all.
Nice.
Questions?
Yes.
Would Lancaster be a style coordinator for our shoots?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Who's our shoots? Oh, us?
Yeah. For
Oh.
us.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to hire you to work with us.
Is there somebody?
Yeah, it's somebody through here.
Yeah. I'd be down. Just let me know.
And can Lancaster speak to the importance of coordinating wardrobes specific to the needs of your portfolio, your market, as when you go to a shoot, as opposed to just pulling anything from your closet?
Okay, so coordinating your outfit to what you're getting ready to do, basically.
True. Yeah, I guess it would depend on like the look you're going for and also the location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those are probably the two biggest things I would think, depending on what you're trying to do. I don't really know exactly what you're trying to do, but yeah, for me, I think that would be the biggest thing.
So can they? Is it Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Can she clarify the question just a tiny?
Yeah.
Ask her. She's on.
I know. I'm asking her. Marie, so exactly, like, give us an example of what you're asking. So basically, I think from what I understood from the question was that she's trying to find out, like, if you say, okay, we're gonna go do a shoot at the beach, rather than just grab the first thing that you see, think about what you have in your portfolio already. What would you like to have in your portfolio? Like, how would you?
Oh,
work
like
that out?
switch it up? You mean? In a way?
Yeah, like, because we talked about earlier, in your portfolio, you don't want to have the same 15 pictures.
Yeah.
So if we said, Lancaster, let's go to the beach and shoot, and you're like, well, what should I wear? Just bring something that goes to the beach, that works with the beach.
Yeah.
Think about what you need for your portfolio, and like, how would you plan to stylize for that?
Well, it would be something totally different from what I already have. Most likely, if I don't have it in my closet, I would go to the store and buy it, go shopping. But yeah, I don't like to wear like the same outfit like more than once when it comes to pictures or like certain things in my outfit. So most of the time, I go shopping and I buy different things to coordinate with the outfit and get like different looks out of it, basically. Wherever I'm going for a shoot, yeah. And I always like to try different things too when I go. Like when I was shooting with you guys, I tried like putting like a collared shirt under my t-shirt. I just saw it somewhere. I just wanted to try it out. But I liked how it came out. So yeah. Just trying something different.
We were talking about that outfit earlier today, actually, that Gene Simmons from Kiss might have a heart attack if he saw someone wearing a collared shirt under his Kiss t-shirt. He'd be like, what is this guy doing? But you never know. Who knows?
Yeah, I was just trying it out. You know? I like how it came out, though.
So, yeah, and I think the important thing is to just keep trying stuff. What about in terms of marketing yourself? You're mostly a streetwear guy, but if somebody came to you, what's the name of that Men's Warehouse? They do like suits and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know Men's Warehouse.
Do you have anything in your portfolio? If I was from Men's Warehouse and I saw you and I said, could I see your work? Do you have anything in your portfolio that would reflect their style?
I actually don't. Yeah, you're right.
He needs that.
I do.
We know some photographers. But I think that's something that, even though that's not necessarily your style, I think a lot of times people may not get work because they don't have anything reflecting that
Yeah,
genre.
I see what you mean.
And Marie, you're watching, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think because Marie works with agencies in Tampa, and when you go to an agency or you go on a casting call or whatever, you have to have the look that they're looking for.
Yeah.
So if you put yourself only in streetwear, then you're only going to be job hunting for streetwear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Marie, correct me if I'm wrong on that, on my wavelength here, but I think that you've got to have not just different poses and stuff, but you need to have looks that fit in so you can actually change your portfolio out.
Sure.
Because you might have 15 pictures of streetwear, 5 pictures of tuxedo type pictures, and you can kind of mix and match them.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Marie put, oftentimes models shoot looks that do not book the style local vendors are trying to book for. And Tampa books lifestyle, business, jewelry, yet models will shoot streetwear or college wear and give that to their agents, and that is not working. It's futile because the agent cannot market you to the client. You end up losing money in gigs.
Okay. So that's kind of what we were just talking about. Like, you've got to have stuff that matches what they're looking for.
Sure.
Because it's honestly, it's really hard. If I look at you right now, it might be really hard for me to imagine you in a suit or in a tuxedo or whatever. So if you have an image of yourself in that, even though that's not your normal everyday wear, then I could be like, oh, this is what he would look like dressed up. You know what I mean? So I think that's one thing for all models, not just Lancaster, but for all models. You need to have a diverse amount of looks so that you can show somebody what they're looking for, regardless of what it is. So you may not have any pictures of you in a, you know, at the beach in a swimsuit or whatever, but maybe somebody's looking for that.
True.
And they may have a very specific, we need a African American male in a swimsuit on the beach, you know, whatever. And you can be like, oh wait, I'm an African American male in a swimsuit. You know what I mean?
Excuse me, it is white linen pants.
It is white linen pants. The linen pants is real in Florida. Did you cut your hair? Or is it still the same?
Oh, I actually did. Yeah.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah. Got a fresh cut.
Yeah, those pictures you still had braids.
Yeah, I actually had problems like getting someone to braid my hair during the pandemic, so
just cut it off.
Yeah, it was getting really crazy and wild. I was like, let me just cut it off and start over. But I'm actually liking the low cut. So yeah.
A lot easier to take care of.
Yeah, it definitely is. A lot easier.
Nice. So, is there anything, if somebody asked you, like, I want you to model blank, is there anywhere where you draw the line that you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that?
Well, I mean, I guess. Well, I know, like, some people are doing, like, I guess, males and, like, more feminine clothes, too. I don't know if I would be down for that, but that's probably where I would draw, like feminine clothes and maybe makeup. Like I remember you asked me one time, like if I wanted to do makeup. I don't really know if I'm down for that yet. Maybe in the future, but for now, I don't really. Yeah, I'm not really trying to wear a dress or makeup. I'm fine with that. But I know some people do like shoots like that.
Yeah. So. We actually did. Actually, that one that I asked you about with the lipstick.
Yeah.
We had a guy. Actually, we had 3 guys there that did it, and one of the pictures I love it. Actually, I just shared it on Instagram yesterday. Is one of my all-time favorite pictures that I've taken this year and in a long time. Because there's a lot of photographers out there that are going to be we want to push the envelope. You want to step outside the box, and not everybody's okay with that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to be okay with that. If you don't want to wear a dress and lipstick, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, I don't think that's just me right now. Maybe in the future, I don't know. Things could change, you know. So, but for now, I'm good.
Okay, so you're not feeling that. Now, if we say we're gonna do a fine art nude, I want to cover you in oil and glitter.
Oil and glitter. Okay, maybe.
See, you'd rather do this than lipstick.
I think I rather would do that than lipstick. Definitely.
Oh, we're gonna have to get glitter. So,
Marie says there is such a definition of black males that seems to be tongue-in-cheek directed at black male models, like where they define black male models. have you seen any differences when you go on model castings between a black male model or another person that is of a different ethnicity?
Are you talking about as far as like being treated differently?
Or what they're asking you for?
Not as far as I know. No, everybody, like most of the model casting I've been to, they've been pretty diverse, so I haven't had that problem yet. But I'm assuming eventually I'll probably run into it, most likely.
Because with the females that we've talked to before, they always discuss how they get treated differently from a white person or a Hispanic person, Asian, you know. So.
Yeah, I don't think I've had that problem yet. I guess one thing I saw like was maybe favoritism, I guess. There was a lot of like, okay, so there was one shoot where they were doing like an event where they had a lot of different photographers shooting at one place, but they had multiple people shooting, and they just basically had like little stations for you to shoot at, and there was a lot of favoritism I saw in there, I guess, with like them picking and choosing which models they rather like take pictures of or whatever. But other than like racially, like it wasn't. No, I haven't had that problem yet. But I feel like eventually I might actually run into that, most likely. But right now, no, I haven't had that problem yet. Everybody's pretty much been on the same page, creatively.
I think that I think kind of going along with what Marie was saying, there's almost a stereotypical look that people assume certain people are going to be best for.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if I'm a clothing brand and I have streetwear and I have business wear, I might be, as that clothing brand, I might be more opting to put you in the streetwear category.
True.
And some Asian guy or white guy or something in the business, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I think that's part of the, right now with the whole movement that's going on in the Black Lives Matter and all that, I think that's something that is being addressed, hopefully, and hopefully will change in the future. But it's almost like people don't look at someone who's African American and go, oh, they could wear a suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's ridiculous. There's lots of people who wear suits. And so hopefully in this industry and changing things in the way that people are portrayed in magazines and media and stuff, you'll actually start seeing that kind of cross over a little bit.
I mean, well, you see that in like runway shows a lot too. Sometimes they won't have one black model in there. Like it'll literally just be all white people. But like I think certain people, like I see Louis Vuitton, like they're starting to have a lot more like African American figures in there, with like Virgil over there now. So it's definitely changing, I believe. Slowly but surely. It'll get better. It'll get better.
Marie has also said that oftentimes in the name of creativity for African American models, that they try to get them to be more dressed on the feminine side, to do the feminization of putting long acrylic nails, but you don't see them do that more on white males in the modeling industry.
They put acrylic nails on black men?
I guess so. That's what she says. Like as an example.
I don't know. I haven't.
Let me see your nails. He's already got nails. He's good.
Yeah, I haven't ran into that yet. Like I said, I don't really do like the whole thing like with nails and dresses and makeup. But I haven't run into that yet. So I don't know. I guess I would have to look into it.
So if you're going for feminine, Lancaster is not the person that you want.
Yeah, it's just not me. I'm sorry, not for now. I'm just in a different headspace, I guess.
You know what? To each his own.
Yeah.
And as long as it makes you happy, you're doing you, then that's fine.
Yeah.
There's people who are willing to do different things in different areas, and you need that. You can't have everybody who's willing, like, oh, I'll do anything you want to do. Everybody can't be that way.
Sure.
So. All right, cool. Well, Marie, thank you for all your questions and your comments. We appreciate it, as always. She's always on top of these things, man. Marie's on it. And we still need to get you in for your video. But if you would do us a favor, tell us how people can reach you if they're looking for a model or a stylist.
Okay.
Give us your Instagram. You have a YouTube channel as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So give us Instagram, YouTube, and any other way that they can contact you.
So right now, my Instagram is @yourboylin_18.
Now say it slowly so
oh, my
people
bad.
in the back can hear you.
Yeah, boylin_18 on Instagram.
So spell that out.
YABOYLAN_18.
There you go.
Yeah, and then on YouTube it's your Boylan vlog. So YABOYLAN and then vlogs VLOGS.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so if people have any questions or they want to book you for something
Yeah.
or whatever, they can reach you at either of those two
Yeah,
places.
social media. And then on my Instagram I have an email too. So yeah, just look into that. Yeah. You can
Alright,
contact
awesome.
me.
Fantastic. All right, well that wraps us up for today. If anybody has any questions that they didn't get a chance to answer or they didn't get a chance to ask, feel free to reach out to us. Or you can reach out to Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
We have multiple ways of getting a hold of us because we have a lot of Instagram pages. Obviously, this one at DLPS Models on Instagram, and on our website at dlportraitstudios.com. We also are on Facebook and everything else, so you can find us. But Darklight Portrait Studios is the name. And if you need pictures or you just want to go out and shoot or whatever, hit us up. We're, especially right now with coronavirus, our schedule kind of tanked, so we have some free time. So now's a good time to do stuff. All right, I guess that's it. So thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you later.
See you.
Bye.